All right, guys. Making the return tonight, the Notorious 508 Boxing Podcast. AJ, good to see you, my man. It's been a minute. I know that last show, I get out there late, but I made the attempt, man. I made it to the very last fight, but we're looking. I always hate asking this question to you. How's it looking towards as we get closer to the show?
All right, so I will say we are now 3 weeks out. I'm gonna knock on this wood right here, and all my pro fights that I got lined up are going through as of right now. You know how we do. You know, we deal with the injuries, the sickness, the guys just being pussy, whatever the case may be. You know, we might have a 13 card lineup, end up with 10, 8, 7, whatever. But as of right now, we got actually, I think, one of our best shows. And I say that because so the amateurs are gonna open up, and you know them boys, they wanna cement their legacies. They want to prove, they want to get to the point where these guys are at. So the amateurs are actually usually more entertaining than the pros. So we got amateur fights before the pros come on, and then I feel like we got a good pro lineup. You know, I've heard some good things about our man's right here, Deutrell Perry. They call him Deebo out there in New Jersey. We got Popeye obviously on the card. Anthony Velasquez is on there. I mean, the card is deep right now. The card is real deep. And,
Ortiz, right? My man.
I expect Anthony Ortiz. He's on the card. It's going to be a lit lineup, for sure. I think we have right now 10 or 11 pro fights. 10 or 11 pro fights, and maybe like 7 or 8 amateur fights. So it's gonna be a good night.
What time do doors open?
So we were planning on opening them up for 5. We may open up at 4. The amateurs are gonna weigh in at 4, depending how quick they could get weighed in and start. But it won't open no later than 5 because we gotta get that show rolling. I mean, 3 other 4-round fighters on the card. Everyone else is either 6, 8, or 10. So we're looking at a long night unless everyone gets knocked out. But I want to talk about that. I want to introduce Deebo over here out of New Jersey. I want you to let the fans know who you are, you know, where you're from, how you started boxing, and what to expect come June 1st.
Okay. Oh, his mic is off. Hold on, let me.
You can hear me?
What's on that?
Oh, yeah, all right, we're good.
All right. Yeah, so my name Deutrell Perry. Everybody call me Deebo. I had that name since I was a baby, basically. I'm from New Jersey. I've been boxing since like maybe 6, 7, something like that. But basically, it's been a lifelong thing. You know, I love the sport. I love to watch. Love to be a part of it. Was amateur. Fought some tournaments, silver gloves, junior golden glove, junior Olympic stuff like that. I won those. So you know, I've always been. And yeah, I just had my pro debut last week. I want to say, Saturday last week, and I got a first round KO. So I'm excited, and I'm trying to ball rolling. I'm trying to secure my spot.
Talk a little bit about that. How was it? Was it any different for you? Like, I know, you know, if you're a dog, you're a dog. It is what it is. But like, was it that nervousness of like no headgear, smaller gloves? You know, it's your pro debut, or was it like whatever because you were kind of like far away, or it's just, you know, you do what you do?
Honestly, I felt really good, and I wasn't really nervous. I was anxious. We were in the back doing pad work, getting ready, and I'm just ready to go. And my father, which is my coach, he had to keep telling me, "Calm down, you're gonna get your chance." I'm amped up, and this is my debut, so I feel like I got a lot to prove and a lot to show. So I'm amped up, and he's telling me, "Yo, calm down, calm down." So it wasn't really nervous, anxiousness. I'm ready to get the job done. But man, hitting that ring, seeing them lights, seeing the people, looking my opponent in the eyes, I was ready to go.
That's fire. So, for those who don't know, talk about a little bit about your amateur career. You know, how many fights where you've gone, maybe who you fought, things like that.
Amateur career, I believe I'm 18. It's been a couple years, but I believe 18-2. I fought Junior Golden Glove Vegas. I won that. I fought Silver Gloves in International Missouri. I won that. I fought the Junior Olympics and Jersey regionals, things of such. I won. So and fought locally, fought in New York. So my career really, as I was younger, like between I want to say 15 to 18, around there, I was career. That's where I had the bulk of my. But yeah, preparation, man. We were focused on getting ready, and having that background, it kind of gave me an understanding of what I have to do now, and then even take it to the next level because I'm fighting pro now. It's not amateur. You know, like you said, the headgears are coming off. You know, and dudes are coming to win. So I had to hone
smaller
in.
Gloves.
Yeah, right. So I had to really take myself, my training, my focus to the next level.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. What stopped you from going pro earlier in your career?
So I got an injury. And I had got hit in the eye. My eye was a little messed up, and the doctor wouldn't clear me at the so it kind of set me back a little bit. And you know what? That time I wound up going to college, wound up living regular life, and I got away from it. And I'm big on God. I involve the Lord in everything that I do. So I prayed and I asked, and the Lord was like, "All right, it's your go time." So I went to the doctors. I got cleared. Everybody's saying it's time to fight. So that's when I locked in. Once I got the go ahead from the big man.
That's fire. That's fire. You got any whether it be in the amateurs or sparring, you got any big names in there that you've been in the ring with?
Well, I grew up with Shakur. That's like we grew up in the same gym since I don't know, since he was like 10 years old. We always been around each other. I got videos of sparring. He's about to go to the Olympics, and I'm in the gym preparing for whatever I was getting ready for. So that was all. I was always in the gym with him. Mikey Perez, uh, coming up, another pro Gandhi Romaine. We do a lot of work, do a lot of rolling. Um, Wheezy, Rajon Chance. I was also in the gym with them a lot. Yeah, so I mean, it's a couple names, but we were really. I was focused. So when I would train, it was the Mecca. It was us right here, and we trained like dogs until it was time to go out and beat everybody and fight.
That's fire. How was sparring with Shakur? How was that? That must be different.
Man, that boy tricky. He's a very, very, very good boxer. So you can't just do anything. You got like we were all and we would
calculate.
Yeah, we would spar 45 minutes straight, no bell. Like we would just be in the ring sparring straight. So
y'all was on some doghouse rules in New
yeah,
Jersey?
absolutely, absolutely. Again, we were younger, so it was never I'm gonna try to knock his head off, or likewise, it was always we were working, and he was again, he's a great boxer, so it was good. We worked on our skills and sharpened our skills together. So it was definitely, and he's so fast, so it was definitely I had to be calculated, like you said. But it was a good experience.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, or not even a number, just talk about a little bit about the differences of amateur and pro. Like, how was your pro debut? Obviously, you got first round knockout, whatever. But how was it? How'd you feel? How was it being actually a pro?
It felt good, and it let me know what I'm stepping into now. Because if you've never done it, you can think about or expect a lot of things, but being there, being in a moment, it felt amazing. Even after the fight, once I won, everybody screaming my name and Perry, go go! Like it felt really good, and it put a battery in my back. We fought Saturday. I was back in the gym on Monday preparing for this fight. I'm ready to go.
That's my next question. What are we gonna expect? I've never seen you fight. I've heard about you. What are we expecting on June 1st?
You should expect me to come out and give y'all a fight. You should definitely expect me to give y'all a fight. I'm gonna try. Well, obviously,
you a boxer, you a brawler,
you stole it from me. You stole the question from me. We love the brawlers, but
you got next one. My bad.
It took me 20 minutes to think of that. Yeah, I need another 20 now.
Nah, I'm whatever I need to be for my opponent. I believe in styles make fights. So if I got a brawler, I should be fighting. If I got a fighter, I should be boxing. If I got a boxer, I should be doing everything, So firm believer in style make fights. I don't want to just limit myself to I do this or I do that. I want to be as well-rounded as possible so that I can defeat anybody that stand in front of me.
Bro, that's AJ's life motto. Styles make fights. I've heard that every
No, I say that all the time. And I actually where I differentiate from other promoters, I don't put records on the bout sheet. And the reason why I don't do that is because I want the fans to enjoy the fight at face value. Mm-hmm. Don't look at the record and see because this guy's 10-20 and this guy's 7-0. Oh, the 7-0 is gonna wipe him. Don't know the records and watch the fight because guess what? Styles make fights, not records.
Absolutely.
I've seen it firsthand. I've been around boxing my whole life. My father's a 3-time world champion. I've seen it. Just because, for example, you beat me doesn't mean I can't beat somebody that you beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the way boxing is. It's the styles. And Mike right here, my partner right here, he's covered a bunch of my shows before. And how many upsets have we seen?
That the Italian guy that you pulled off 2 days before the fight. I always reference that. That was one of the best fights I've ever seen. The guy showed up 2 hours notice or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's not the records, it's the styles. Yeah. Like he was saying, if you're a boxer, you might have to be able to do it all. If he's a fighter, you might have to box. If he's
right.
a brawler, you're gonna have to counter punch or whatever. And those little things, if you can't mix and match, and I'm glad he's kind of like music to my ears right now. The fact that he's talking about I can switch it up if I have to is great because there's a lot of guys who don't know how to do that. They fought one way all the way up to their big TV fights, and now they're getting demolished because they've only know how to fight one way. So it's things like that. And I've had a lot of draws, I've had a lot of upsets. I just had a lot of even just super entertaining fights, regardless of what the records are, because it's not the records, it's the styles.
Absolutely.
That's one of my biggest fights with the commission when I be trying to get fights approved. Like, oh, you can't have this guy fight this guy. I'm like, listen, stop looking. You never been in a ring before. Stop looking at the damn record.
Yep. So I know what it was a first round knockout, but what kind of first round knockout are we talking?
It was 28 seconds. That's how long the fight lasted.
He was out.
Man he broke more of a sweat in the locker room.
Let's go. I love the early ones, but you don't want to see too many of them.
I threw 2 hooks and I seen him kind of stumble back a little bit. I put the pressure on him, uppercut and another hook, and the fight was over.
Nice. So wait, you threw 2 hooks. Are you a southpaw?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Figures. Yes, their hooks are coming from that jab hand for the righties.
Yep.
I never hear a righty talk about I just threw 2 hooks, unless you're Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, word. So you say you threw 2 hooks, caught him, and then you said what, uppercut?
Yeah, an uppercut and another hook. Because when we were I threw the 2 hooks and the first one landed flush, and he kind of like put his hands up to block him. And when he did that, when his hands came up, I threw the uppercut and another hook, and that sealed it. Yeah. So
I like it.
It was wonderful, man.
So how do we know? What do we know about? Does he have an opponent yet? Like I don't know.
Yes, he does. He does. He's actually
we,
for somebody that's only got. I mean, it was his pro debut. This was going to be his opponent even when it was his pro debut. But he's 1-0 now. Still, he's fighting a guy with I think it's 10 fights of professional experience. And his guy comes to fight. He comes to fight. He's tough. He's gonna make you work for it, and that's what you want to see in your 4-round guys. You kind of want to see where they're at. You know, how good are they? And he's got the perfect opponent, especially for his style, for his stance. He's a southpaw. But you know, if he's taking it serious and he's training, he's gonna prevail and do what he does.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like that. You know, my best friend, actually, my college roommate, he's like my brother. We're still in contact to this day. Every time I make a trip to New York or New Jersey, I'm in Newark because my college roommate is from there. And he knows I'm a big boxing guy. So anytime Shakur fights, he's messaging me, you see my boy, you see my boy, you see my boy. So I know y'all love boxing over there. I know that for sure.
Absolutely. And boxing has taught me a lot in life. It gave me a discipline through life. So I actually love the sport. Love watching it, being around it, hearing about it, doing it. You know, it's just overall.
I tell people it's like that. You know those fake birthday candles when you try to blow them out, they like go out for like a half a second and then they get lit back up.
Right.
Boxing is like that, man. Like you might think like, you know, I'm really done with this shit. You might be frustrated. You know, the politics, the business, whatever the case may be. You know, you're not getting opportunities, but that fire never burns. Even for me, man, I haven't been in a ring since like 11 years now. It's been 11 years that I haven't been in the ring. But even then, I still think about it to this day.
It's always going.
To be honest, we've had a million shows, right? We've done pretty much everybody. I don't know how many people, if we've heard anybody say, I just love it. I love everything about it. I love, you know, these guys say that, yeah, they've been doing it since they were young. They love it, but it's almost like.
You know what I think it is like he said, with the injury, there was a long absence to it. So I think he had a chance to miss it versus the other guys who have stayed in it. They're like, yeah, I just do it. I do it. Deebo, on the other hand, has had a chance to miss it. So he could actually be like, yeah, I love this shit.
Word. Yeah, absolutely.
That, you know, my dad went through some bad promoters and stuff like that kind of made him like hate boxing. It was just crazy. You got a 3-time world champion, 2 different weight classes. And he's like, yeah, I'm all set with this shit. But after a few years off, he kind of found that love again. Like, that's what I'm saying. It really doesn't go away because even me, I never even got a chance to fight pro. I only fought in the amateurs. Now I'm doing the business side of things as a pro.